And put the screen up. It's the RUSTLERS CUFL Men's Premier Division final from Athlone Town Stadium. UCD have won the trophy 4 times in the past 6 seasons against IT Sligo. A very good afternoon from Will Downing and Johnny McDonald. So before the teams come out, they're in the tunnel. Let's quickly run through the lineups for this decider. UCD with a lot of League of Ireland and Leinster Senior League experience. Yo-Yo Mahdi, who's formerly of Limerick FC, a great goal getter in the UCD first team at the moment and helped them to the First Division title in 2018, something that Paul Doyle enjoyed as well 2 seasons ago. Colin Whelan has a Harding Cup to his name, and Michael Gallagher helped UCD win the Harding Cup a week ago. He's just signed from Finn Harps. Strong bench as well, including the likes of Mark Dignam, who's also a regular first teamer, and Harvey O'Brien, who came from Morris FC in Mayo. IT Sligo had 4 players sent off in last week's CFAI Cup final, but they've all been cleared in the past 24 hours to play today. Mark Byrne, Scott Lynch, Ryan O'Reilly and James McGrath. O'Reilly, one of 2 changes from the starting lineup in that decider last week, beaten 4-1 by IT Carlow. The other is Darren Collins, who's been cleared by Sligo Rovers to play in this game. A strong bench which involves Ronan Gallagher, who started last week but on the bench today. The man from Donegal who was involved in Finn Harps' under-17 double winning side 2 seasons ago. They also claimed the Mark Farron Cup. So it's all about this today, the league trophy, and Johnny McDonald. It's been such a successful run in recent years for UCD in this.
Other the past masters and the best group of players probably in the universities and the college leagues, and look, they've won it 4 times in the last 6 seasons. We seen IT Sligo here last week. Well, some brilliant stuff that they done, but also some madness in the second half. And I see Collins coming into the team, Darren Collins coming back into the team. The likes of Cavanagh, who got injured last week, I see he's starting as well. Oisin O'Reilly very good at the back, with training nice and solid at the back. O'Reilly will play at left full, or Scott Lynch will come back into midfield, but a couple of small changes.
And the anthem to begin. Match referee for this decider is Ray Conlon, the assistants Des McInerney and Damien Jordan, and the 4th official is Paul Malone for this big league final. The usual lineups ahead of the decider, and I mean, we just can't praise this venue enough. Very, very durable. Tala, Technical University Dublin, Tala won the Division 1 title against NUI Galway earlier today. The UCD very much the side to beat in this competition, and IT Sligo were quite impressive in part last week, Johnny, against IT Carlow before things got a little on the hinge.
I have to say they were well in the game against IT Carlow, and Idaho, Kavanagh, Idaho wide on the right. You know, great skill, the ability to get away from a player in a 1v1 situation. Kavanagh's deliveries from set plays, from free kicks and corner kicks were very, very good. He got a goal from one of the set plays. Oisin O'Reilly and trainer at centre halves are nice and solid. Definitely in the first half they were well in the game, but it's about how they keep their composure and their discipline against a top team of UCD, who will have great movement around midfield. Jack Carney, Maddie, the pace, Paul Doyle. So they're going to have to be on the game today in relation to more, the physical side. I think they'll do okay. It's the mental side and keep their concentration and that communication around the pitch, where there's interchanging, lads coming in off the wing and fullbacks bombing on for UCD. So they started the game slowly last week, Will, I have to say. IT Carlow came straight at them, so they need to learn from that and not let UCD get at them in the first few minutes. They need to start on the front foot here today. It looks like Ryan O'Reilly definitely is playing at left full, and Scott Lynch gone into midfield for IT Sligo.
All set for this league final, the Rustlers CUFL Men's Premier Division. In the last 6 seasons, there have been 4 titles for UCD and 2 for IT Carlow. A famous success in winning the league last season, but turned over by UCD. This time around 4-0 in the semi-final, but they are the CFAI Cup holders from last week. Things had looked very good for IT Sligo for a bit there, and they're hoping today the only red they see is their kit, and nothing else. But they made life very, very difficult early on last week against Carlow. There's no doubt about that, and the fact that there's only 2 changes today for Colm Jinks, their boss, is a very, very good thing indeed. The news coming to them yesterday that those 4 players dismissed in the CFAI Cup final are all good to play today.
They've started the game well. As I said, they're on the front foot early. Mark Bourne has done well down the left hand side. I think Darren Collins is definitely going to add to the strength in attack. There's a little bit more about him. He knows his way around the pitch, and definitely with Ryan O'Reilly playing at left full to deal with Maddie on the left hand side here, using all his experience. That should be a good contest today. But here we go. Here's Bourne.
Oh, it's a tight angled effort. What a great try that was. And there was hardly an angle to help him at all, but he went for it and he came so close. And that's a real warning for UCD after barely 90 seconds of what Sligo can do through Mark Byrne.
Great bit of skill in the 1v1. He's opened his body up brilliantly, Will, and he's just an inch or 2 off getting it into that far top right hand corner. Great start by IT Sligo. I'm sure Colm Jinks instilled that into them after the start last week, but they've definitely started well on the front foot here.
That's a deep delivery. It is too deep, and it's just going to roll on beyond Ryan O'Reilly. Another of those, the last of those to be dismissed last week when he was on as a substitute, but he's a starter today, is Ryan O'Reilly of Ballina-Mallard. Now they've had a decent run up north in the Irish Cup.
He's a decent left peg on him, Will, and he can whip in decent crosses. He's got a good engine on him, and himself and Mark Bourne on this left hand side could cause problems for UCD.
Crossed by Abdul Babakar, who's in the first team, who's also played Leinster Senior League for them. And it's such a full schedule for them, playing League of Ireland, playing Leinster Senior League and all the different competitions as well. They've won the Harding Cup this year. They had the disappointments in the CFAI Cup, which they always like to get their hands on if possible, and obviously the Collingwood Cup as well. That is a cracking ball over the top, and it's almost good for Mark Byrne, but it's away by Lorcan Healy straight away, who's their Leinster Senior League goalkeeper, had been now is the number 1 in the League of Ireland this campaign. Has played previously for Maidstone United, who are a football league side in England for a few years.
He was very alert, I have to say, Will. He was out of his box as the last defender, giving the defenders great cover, and he was onto it like a light.
Forward by Yo-Yo Maddy, one of a selection who helped UCD up from the First Division 2 seasons ago.
It's his movement in off the line, Will, that IT Sligo will have to watch. He's starting out to come in, and he's trying to get the full backs up the line, Gallagher up the line. IT Carlow need to keep an eye, they definitely need to keep an eye on Jack Carney, that he's not running the game in there for UCD, that he's getting on the ball and setting up the attacks. But as I said, the movement off the wings for UCD, it's important that IT Sligo are clear who picks up the men going inside and who takes the full backs bombing on.
Five of the IT Sligo squad are on the books of Sligo Rovers. Mark Byrne, Scott Lynch, Jeremiah Idaho, who was so impressive last week, Darren Collins, who has been cleared to play today by Rovers, Niall Moran, who again hasn't. It's a good one right down the middle, couldn't quite get Yo-Yo Maddy away. Well claimed by Jason Quinn.
But his run inside created the space outside here for Gallagher, so they've got to be aware of that.
Good work by Idaho, who really tormented Carlow in the first half last week in the CFAI Cup final. Definitely deserved to come out of the game with something, I thought. He's
so positive, Will, isn't he? And I looked at him last week, and he does his defensive work. You don't have to ask him to do it. He's quite prepared to do the defending side. But when he gets on the ball, he's so positive in 1v1 situations. And I think he's going to cause UCD a bit of problem here today. And I'd leave him out on that wing 1v1 because he has the balance to come inside or outside.
Just missed Idaho that time, but on the follow through, the rebound struck over the top. Looked to be O'Reilly. There was Brian Kavanagh, who had a couple of good opportunities and was excellent at the set pieces last week for Sligo.
You're 100% right, Will. Anytime he got a set piece, he was the man, and very, very good delivery from him. And I'm sure they've worked on their set pieces again this week. They got a goal from him last week. Just patient build up by UCD, trying to get Carney on it here and start the attack, and then all that movement from the wide players. And there's Idaho cutting that one out. Just not letting UCD break the lines with the passing.
Bit windier today and a bit cloudier than it was a week ago for the CFAI Cup final.
Good shape on IT Sligo here, and just looking down on the wheel, and everyone seems to know their jobs. They're patient, they're dropped off, and they're going to try and hit UCD on that counter attack.
It's cut out easily by Dara Corcoran. And he has a little bit of support from Colin Whelan here, the number 9, and Whelan still going, and suddenly it opens up brilliantly. Couple of bites of the cherry for Michael Gallagher. The man who's just come from Finhouse. The first save by Jason Quinn, the second Gallagher couldn't do enough with.
This is what I'm talking about, Will, when they're all pulled inside. This is the full-back, the UCD full-back Gallagher. Up inside 8 yards inside the box, and he gets 2 attempts on it. Little let off for the IT Carlow. So O'Reilly and Bourne, they need the communication needs to be better on the left-hand side, on the defending side.
But what a super opportunity that was for Michael Gallagher, and very good stop.
It's good play by Whelan on the edge of the box again. They get the cross in. Here we go again, UCD.
Corcoran.
That's all the hard there doing his defensive work, as we said.
Very, very well covered. IT Sligo, who beat Waterford IT 6-2 in the semi-final, and they overcame Blanchardstown 5-2 in the quarterfinals. 4 wins out of 5 in the group stage. UCD 4-0 winners over IT Carlow in the semi-final a fortnight ago. Beat Athlone IT by the same scoreline in the quarterfinals. And they too won 4 out of 5 of their group games. UCD losing 5-1 at Drogheda United at the weekend, but still lying in 4th spot after 3 games in the First Division. Controlled by Ryan Norris, the Sligo captain.
Good
and
play.
That's a brilliant ball. It's Darren Collins who's in here. The angle was tight, but he tested Lorcan Healy. Was almost in.
Good play by Collins. He on the bounce, he got across Barbacar and could have done better with the shot, Will. Just a little reminder for UCD's defence.
It's the second fixture of a long week of league finals here in Athlone. The women's final, Women's Premier Division, Thursday at 4, Ulster University against Maynooth University. And again, it'll be live right here on the Third Level Football YouTube. There's a bit more sizing up, isn't there, compared to last week's CFEI Cup final, which was a blood and thunder and a real roller coaster right from the kickoff. That's another good ball launched forward and controlled well by Mark Byrne. Had a little bit of support behind.
Yeah, I agree, Will, but it's all UCD on the ball and IT Carlow dropping off and letting them get on it, letting them build up the play, and as I said, hoping to catch UCD on the counter-attack. Important roles for Gary Higgins and Darren Collins, that one of them are doing a decent job, and Jack Carney, one of them needs to drop off in the midfield and help the midfield out, that he doesn't control the game.
It's good control by Yo-Yo Maddy again down the near side, and it was just a bit too strong at the end for Michael Gallagher, who's been involved in that Harding Cup success.
Yeah, he's a good young player, and he knows his role down the right hand side here for UCD. But in fairness to IT Carlow, they've lots of bodies around the ball, Will. They're close enough to the action all the time.
I mean, the good news is that this week of football is still on, considering what isn't up and down Europe. And you've seen a lot of Sligo, both IT Sligo and Sligo Rovers in the past week.
I have. I was up in the showgrounds at the weekend watching Sligo Rovers versus Shamrock Rovers. A very good game. 3-2 in the end. Shamrock Rovers.
A decent cross by Yo-Yo Maddy, and the back heel was good for Paul Doyle. Might be another opportunity for him. No foul called until then, and it was against him. And the free kick is IT Sligo's.
Yeah, I think he just fell over on the ball. But Maddy done well on just the right hand side of the box, Will. And just a little reminder that little combination play around the box by UCD, they're capable of them little 1-2s, the give and goes. So just a little reminder for IT Sligo. Again, they're just trying to play it in over the top early. IT Sligo and catch UCD on the counter attack with a bit of pace. Collins and Higgins. But just referring back to the showgrounds, Will, decent game, I have to say. Weather wasn't too good, but both teams got it down and played, and 3-2 in the end. This is going to be a patient game by UCD. Keep playing
cracking ball over the top. It's a decent one, which will be controlled by Liam Kerrigan here, and there's plenty of blue shirts forward, and there was lots of room in the near side for Michael Gallagher, who just wasn't spotted. But they're beginning to find a little bit of space in the corners of UCD.
Again, it was Brian Kavanagh who broke down the attack, and a decent early ball up to Collins. He's done really well to get a free kick just inside the UCD half. But that's going to be the pattern of the game, Will. It's going to be UCD, lots of possession, trying to build up from the back through midfield, through the towards, and it'll be IT Sligo trying to catch some of the counter-attack.
Brian Kavanagh will take the free kick for IT Sligo as usual. How effective he was. Ball moved there, but it didn't matter too much in the end. Obviously there's a lot of inside knowledge for UCD when it comes to the Northwest, with Liam Kerrigan, Paul Doyle, Jack Keeney all being former Sligo Rovers players. Kerrigan coming at the start of last season. Keeney, the captain from Donegal. A little bit of a stretch that was by Darren Collins.
He nearly robbed it well in a good position. If they can win it in them high areas, gives them a good opportunity to get into 1v1 situations. UCD are playing this ball around really well. I think Sligo just dropped off in their yard, has just been patient and hoping UCD make errors. And there we go on the counter-attack again.
Great ball by Kavanagh, chance to get Idaho away. Corcoran is with him, Dara Corcoran, and just managed to interrupt him for a few seconds at least.
But again, Kavanagh, you know, as soon as he gets it out of his feet and a chance to get it wide, the Idaho, to get it out there and try and get him to 1v1 situations. He's good player, as I said. He's honest, he's good trickery, he's that ability, just as you think you're going to win the ball, he can nick it away from you and ride a few tackles.
It's beyond Idaho at that time. He was primed for a flick on, but it turned out quite good for Sligo anyway. What a cracking effort from the edge of the area, and it wasn't too high over the bar in the end. A beautiful strike.
It's the second ball from that long throw in, and I think it's Kavanagh comes in on it. Airman, the set piece expert, just unlucky, it's just rising as it gets to the crossbar. Brilliant strike, just needed to keep it down an inch or two.
It was a glorious opening for Brian Kavanagh again of Carberry of the Sligo Leitrim League, the champions of 2019. They won the Connacht Champions Cup as well, and making up a lot of the IT Sligo panel. Bit of room for Michael Gallagher down this right hand side for UCD, and definitely able to string together some decent sized moves, some lengthy moves. Try and test Sligo.
Paul Doyle's movement is good in between the back four and the midfield for IT Sligo. They've got to be aware of him not finding them pockets in between the defence and the midfield. He's just popping up, and they need to keep someone close to him because he's setting up the attacks in the last third of the pitch for UCD.
Forward by Evan Farrell. Now it's Mahdi. Nice move. 1-2 with Doyle, and Mahdi's last touch just deserted him.
Again, Sligo dropping deep. The problem then is when you drop too deep and you win it back, Will, there ain't nobody up front to play it there, and you just keep giving possession away.
That was just too long for Liam Kerrigan.
It's okay, they're forcing UCD to go long, but UCD are trying to mix it up. As I say, playing through the towards, or again there Carney trying to go long out to Kerrigan on the left hand side. Sometimes we played UCD in the Collingwood, and we were the opposite to IT Sligo. We pressed them high up the pitch, and we asked them the questions higher up the pitch. It just gives you that opportunity, if you win a high up the pitch, Will, to get opportunities to score. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it, but here we go again.
Play on, no offside. Cross by Collins, try to pick out Mark Byrne. And that's out.
He's done well, Collins, from the start. He's good centre of gravity. He's getting underneath the defenders well, and he's the ability just to get in front of defenders and nick the ball away, and he's done it there again. Just the cross coming into the box for Bourne, could have done a little bit better.
Good close control. Mark Byrne, low effort, just wide. IT Sligo are still creating the opportunities and testing UCD.
In all the possession that UCD have, it's only the Gallagher chance that they've had. It's Mark Byrne here coming in off the line. Decent forced touch. Just needs to get it on target, Will. He had the opportunity and the time to get a better contact on the strike. He just needed to test the keeper, Healy. As I said, UCD have all the possession, but just one strike on goal by Gallagher here in front of us.
Deep one down the middle. Colin Whelan's the only one in an advanced spot for UCD. Had Yo-Yo Maddy just behind him as well. Eight goals in the last two games in this competition in the knockout stages, quarterfinals and semi-finals. Beat Cove Ramblers 1-0 a couple of weeks ago. That's their only victory so far in the league this season. Draw away at Wexford, and that 5-1 defeat at Drogheda at the weekend in the First Division. Doyle. Paul Doyle, the Mayo man, the Sligo Rovers old boy, the First Division winner, holding it up, and quite a few have featured in the UEFA Youth League as well. Michael Gallagher's got the vision. He's in so much room in the near side, keeps pointing the way forward, and no one can see him on the pitch. It's incredible.
He's been patient, Will, and that's his job, to stay wide, to stretch IT Sligo, make sure they're nice and narrow inside. And when UCD get the opportunity from central areas, the likes of Jack Carney and Paul Doyle, can he get the heads up and get the play switched and get him into that situation? And it's not even a 1v1 situation, Will. He's nearly in on goal. He's a free run in on goal.
It was a direct free kick. It was too direct.
Well, as the fella says, two more of them and he's a scorer. Over the bar, Will. Poor delivery, I have to say, by Kerrigan. The lads will be disappointed with that delivery.
It's Liam Kerrigan's free kick, and it was
high and wide, Will, as Steve would say.
It was barely worth watching the first time. It's a penalty shootout victory for Tala over NUI Galway in the Division 1 final earlier. It'll be fun seeing them next season.
Colin Jinks shouting into IT Carlow or IT Sligo players to get your shape, get it quickly. As soon as the transition happens, when they lose the ball, he's just wanting them to get their shape really, really quickly.
League coming into being in 2006. UCD won 3 of the first 4. They've won 4 of the last 6, 7 titles in total. Most successful side in the history of the competition. IT Carlow have won 4. University of Limerick 1, DIT as they were 1, and nobody else.
It's like a game of chess here, Will. IT Sligo dropped off. And UCD possession and building up slowly. I'm just hoping IT Sligo, one of the players, won't do their jobs and he can open them up.
Here's Evan Farrell. And it doesn't matter if they have to check backwards a little bit. Well, it does now. They've given it away, and it's Mark Byrne. It's Gary Higgins. Oh, that's off the ball. That's going to be a free kick, and maybe a bit more for Babicar. It's down to referee Ray Conlon here.
It's Babicar who's pulled him back, definitely will. Was he last man? Was he clean through on goal? We get a look at it here.
It's a yellow card.
It was Babicar initially who gave the ball away. Again, as I said, IT Sligo just dropped off. But again, Higgins and Collins are onto it like a light, Will. And this man, Brian Kavanagh, might be a little bit far out, but he's the ability to strike this. Mike Larkin Healy make a save. And that's going to give IT Sligo encouragement. You know, the plan to sit back and hopefully catch them on the counter-attack. Hopefully UCD will misplace passes in and around midfield and they can rob it, because they have the pace, as I said, in Higgins and in Collins up front.
Brian Kavanagh's over it. And he went for it. Oh, he went for it all right. Didn't clear the crossbar by very much at all. He knew it was on. And he knows how close it was too.
We spoke about his deliveries. Here he goes. Took his time. He's got really, really good purchase on a good contact. Whoa, another inch, Will. He's hit the back of the netting.
Cut out well by Jeremiah Idaho again. It'll be a free kick for Sligo, and despite all the possession UCD have had, they've only had one real clear opportunity in the game, and Sligo have had 5. It's back by Mahdi for Babicar. Mahdi scored the only goal in the 1-0 win a couple of weeks ago against Cove Ramblers in the First Division, the only match they've won so far this season in the league.
Kerrigan coming right in off the line there. He's in midfield. Doyle has swapped out to the left hand side, so a little bit of interchanging. UCD. Mahadi now on the wrong side of the pitch. Mahadi on the wrong side of the pitch now.
Yet again on the near side.
It is Gallagher. Free, but here we go. Collins is in over the top again.
He's forced Lorcan Healy out of goal very quickly, and Healy's decided to send it as far away as possible. Not only has he cleared the fence, he's managed to clear the other fence over on the far side in the school, which is incredible.
He's gone into Class 2B, Will. Again, he's been out of his box fairly quick, because Collins and Higgins, as I said, are onto it like a light. UCD just don't have the ability to get the play switch, which is unlike them, Will. They're usually good at pulling teams in nice and narrow and getting the play switch. They're going to have to deal with this long throw in again, Norris.
Again aimed it towards the near post, and on 2 occasions with those throws, Idaho has been there, but he's aimed well beyond him. Here's Oisin O'Reilly from Roscommon, and places football here with Athlone Town. Managed to see Scott Lynch and Gary Higgins tackle each other, and they're on the same side. Collins has lost it.
It's the closest 1-2 I've ever seen, Will. You can just see the movement from the picture there, Will. There's good shape about IT Sligo. Everyone knows their jobs. There's good communication going on. And when UCD get into certain areas, they engage, just like there. They're prepared to sit really, really deep. Lots of movement by UCD. There's Maddie coming inside. Gallagher trying to get in behind again, and he does.
He's away now. He's been making that run down the right every single time. He's got Kerrigan away, who's scored in the League of Ireland this season, scored in the weekend against Drogheda, and there's been a small bit of afters the referee Ray Conlon wants to have ironed out.
Kerrigan, he's done all right. He's got down the line. I don't think it was a penalty kick, Will. Just a little bit of afters. It was him and Scott. She's got involved. Scott Lynch it was, yeah.
So Kerrigan is in the book, and so too is Scott Lynch, the number 8 for Sligo. Coming just before the half-hour mark at Athlone Town. Idaho's on the break again, but just a little bit too much behind that.
Again, it's Kavanagh. Doesn't have to think about it. As soon as it gets to his feet and he's a chance, that big ball, that big diagonal ball out to Idaho, just a little bit too much on it this time. You look at UCD, the top third, the attacking players, the interchanging, the movement. Kerrigan, Maddie coming right in the midfield. Central midfield players coming wide, but they've given her away now. Here we go, here's Collins.
Collins did a very good job in getting it out wide for Scotland. It's an early one. Higgins! Saved by Healy to deny Gary Higgins, and that's the best chance of this league decider so far by a long way. What an opening!
Brilliant ball in by Scott Lynch, brilliant ball. He's taken the first time, Will. I don't think he could have done much more. He's placed him right into the corner. Brilliant save by Lorcan Healy, brilliant save.
Kerrigan trying to release, and he just didn't quite get the timing right. Sligo survived that one. What a brilliant attack it was for them last time. They've really got the measure at the moment of UCD. Here goes Ryan O'Reilly. He's been fouled. It's a free kick.
You have to say, Will, it was the best move of the match so far in all the good play that UCD would have had. It was the most positive play in the game in the 30 minutes or so that it's been on. And a brilliant save by Healy, I have to say, brilliant save. But again, IT Sligo really, really positive.
Only thing they haven't had so far is a breakthrough. They've been excellent, they've been creative.
And on the defensive side, Will, they've been organised, I have to say.
It's Brian Kavanagh with it, looking for the flick on, and it came! My word, did it come at the far post, but just misdirected in the end, and it's another glorious opportunity with Kavanagh's free kick causing all the mayhem.
Is it Bourne at the back post? He should have scored, Will. Yeah, Mark Bourne, he should have scored. He should have got it. It should be 1-0. They should have 2 goals at this stage, Will, in the last 5 minutes. They might rue them opportunities, especially against this UCD team. They'll just keep probing and playing and be patient.
Spreading it from the right now to the left and doing it through Jack Keeney. Involved in that Harding Cup success. UCD try and get a second major trophy in successive weeks. Good challenge. a couple that were quite robust in the second, too much so. So UCD free kick, the whistle going against Ryan Norris, who was very keen.
A little bit keen on the second challenge. First one was perfectly timed well. Nothing malicious or malice in it.
Again, Gallagherson, lots of room down this near side. Played down the middle, and Sligo are mopping up a huge amount when it's played centrally. Collins trying to break through, but a little bit of a drag back, and free kick it is to UCD. Luke Bohr holding things up well. He was involved in that UEFA Youth League campaign 2 seasons ago, the 2017-18 European campaign on the traditional European calendar. Paul Doyle of UCD, Ryan Norris of Sligo. Norris coming out west from it. Bit of a collision in midair.
He wasn't holding back again, Norris, was he? He's going to have to be careful, because if he's just a little bit off of that, the timing of his tackles, he's just come off the worst in that one, little bang to the head. I don't know which way the wind is blowing, Will. Here's Idaho again down the right. Just too much on it.
It's definitely swirling round. The rain is coming down, the wind is swirling a bit, and we've just had a little bit of rain come our side. Unless there's a hole in the roof. So I'm sure there isn't.
I'd like to see a bit more from Jack Heaney in midfield. Well, I have to say, they've marshalled him really well. He's coming out here on the right hand side to try and get a bit of space.
Conditions have got a bit awkward the past few moments, and flag up in the near flank from Damien Jordan. Sun's been out that whole time as well, so you've got a rainbow just beyond the school.
A little bit more cagey this match, Will. The match last week with IT Sligo and IT Carlow was up and down, it was very open.
And the cutout by Yo-Yo Maddy, who's one of 3 players today in the starting lineup. Colin Wigan, Liam Kerrigan, the others who've scored in the League of Ireland this season in their opening 3 games, so they've got 4 points and 3 goals.
Corcoran's done well on Idaho there. Just won themselves a goal kick.
Eight minutes to half time, 0-0. IT Sligo have had the best opening so far. But still no breakthrough out of Lone Town. Well met again at the first time of asking by Oisin O'Reilly, and then second time around by Ben Traynor. Got the challenge absolutely right.
Good play by Traynor, good defending, I have to say. He had to get it perfectly right there. Whelan Done really well to get into the box. Perfect timing with the challenge by trainer.
Haven't been as penetrative in this first half as they might have been, UCD. It's obviously a full schedule for them. Crossed by Michael Gallagher. Maddy. In quite a few more opportunities, UCD could have used Gallagher down the right than what they've actually done, and Collins with the pressure on Abdel Babakar, who's on a yellow card from earlier. They are being tested definitely defensively, UCD, right now.
I think Collins has the measure of Babakar and pace, Will. And every opportunity he's chasing him down. Babakar's got to be very careful, as you say, he's on a yellow.
Good vision. Yo-Yo Maddy was attempting the break down the middle. Farrell couldn't find the way through. Mark Byrne trying something similar now, but too strong. They're definitely having a little prod at each other, there's no doubt about that. Try and find a path of least resistance. Maddy. And Maddy's found himself a little bit of room in the edge of the area again, but Ryan Norris timed the clearance well and strongly. And out of nothing, IT Sligo in a very deep position have got themselves a throw-in down the right.
Yeah, Barricade, poor defending between the two of them, 2v1 under no pressure. And they end up giving away a needless throw-in wide on the right-hand side.
Darren Collins, support from Ryan Norris again, didn't need him. Cross was deep. Michael Gallagher doing enough to scramble it away. Maddy's come back very deep.
Collins done well on the far right hand side there. Again, Mark Bourne probably in too early. Well, the timing of his run needed to be better coming in for the cross. Cross by Maddy for Doyle. Now there's room down the left hand side, and the low strike, a real tester too. Kerrigan floating around there, and a bit of a bouncer, which Jason Quinn did well to deny Liam Kerrigan. Good play by Kerrigan. He's been patient, he stayed wide, he's come inside, he's got a shot away on target, just a little bit more on it.
It's their second attempt on target in this league decider. Ryan O'Reilly, goal kick. And a little bit of trouble here for Luke Bohr. He's trying to run off that injury. Current first teamer. And they're lying fourth in the first division right now.
He looks in trouble, Will.
Sending a few substitutes out, just in case. It's 3 minutes to half time. He'll probably survive until then, and then they can assess it during the break. That'll be a free kick, nudge in the back on Liam Kerrigan.
He's been quite involved in the game for them, Kerrigan, hasn't he? He caused a few problems on that left-hand side with him coming in off the line. Prepared to come inside and get a shot away.
He was player of the tournament in UCD's Harding Cup success this season. And look at that from Kerrigan down the left. It's good play. Whelan, chance. Went to begging. Idahorn the way. We haven't seen as much of him in the first half of this as we did in the first half last week, but he's still playing a role, and IT Sligo have got the free kick.
I have to say, it was good defending by Oisin O'Reilly. But again, Barbacar just giving away a silly free kick on Collins. But good defending by IT Sligo. You're talking about Idaho, Will. He's playing a different game today, isn't he? He's deeper. He's playing a more defensive role for IT Sligo. And he's sticking to the plan.
Rainbow's out. No goals in yet, though, at the Athlone Town Stadium. Idaho in the way, and it was just nodded on by Mark Byrne.
It was a good little header on by Bourne. Collins was just caught wrong-footed, and he wasn't able to readjust to get in after it.
Last minute of normal time in this first half. IT Sligo have been a lot more creative so far. Gallagher is in loads of room down this right hand side, and he isn't quite picked out. He was certainly the target. It looked like Farrell was coming down the middle. There was nobody presenting themselves at all.
It was a decent ball by Jack Heaney. Just the breeze held it up well, and I think that helped IT Sligo. And Mark Bourne was able to get back.
They could definitely use him a lot more down this right hand side, and he's making the break now. Did well to keep it in as well. Yo-Yo Mahdi. Chip forward by Doyle. Good ball. Whelan trying to keep it alive. Back for Doyle again. Into stoppage time. Michael Gallagher's cross is a good one. And the header just wide. What a chance for Liam Kerrigan.
That's Airman Kerrigan. He's been involved in everything. He's come in off the line there. It's a great ball in, but Gallagher has been really, really involved in the game. Great delivery. Norris just missed it. Oh, he's just so unlucky. He's done everything right to get it away from the keeper. And just an inch over the crossbar, the angle of the crossbar and the post. Best opportunity, I suppose, Will, since early on in the game. And Gallagher had that chance early on in the game. But good build-up play by UCD.
They've both had two brilliant opportunities to score. A goalless first half in the CUFL Men's Premier Division final, but glorious chances for both. Higgins through in the half hour for IT Sligo. The low shot saved by Lorcan Healy, and right on half time, two men who've impressed so far for UCD. Gallagher's cross on the right, Kerrigan's header just wide. Half time, UCD 0, IT Sligo 0. Not bad so far, Johnny.
As I said, it's a very tactical game. Will IT Sligo dropped really deep. No one went to engage, went to try and win it back. UCD trying to play it through the thirds, keeping good possession, getting the play switch, trying to get an opportunity to get IT Sligo to leave gaps. But in fairness to them, they've defended really well. They've been nice and narrow, and they've made UCD go wide. Again, with Jack Heaney trying to get on it and using Gallagher with the switch of the play. Could have done it a little bit more, because every time he's got on it, Will, he's caused a few problems.
So half time it is then in Athlone. We'll be back in around 10 minutes for the second half. It is UCD 0, IT Sligo 0. So teams coming out for the second half at the Athlone Town Stadium. It is 0-0 at the break in this Rustlers CUFL Men's Premier Division final between UCD and IT Sligo. And there is going to be a change at half time. So we're going to see Harvey O'Brien come on. He's the number 13. Signed from Claremorris AFC and Mayo, and currently featuring in the Leinster Senior League side. Now the indications are it's Babakar who would come off. I don't see him on the pitch, so that would be the change. Babakar off, replaced by Harvey O'Brien right at the start of this second half.
It just looks like a straight swap, right side of centre half or right side of centre half. Babakar was on the yellow wheel, as you said. O'Brien might just have a little bit more pace to deal with Higgins and Collins, because Babakar was struggling in the 1v1 situations.
So UCD making a change at the start of this second half with Harvey O'Brien replacing Abdul Babakar at half-time. Babakar on a yellow card and was a bit of a risk. And another substitution right at the start of the second half as the match ball seems to have ended up, another one has ended up in the school. That's another souvenir for them. It's cut out well by Jeremiah Idaho. Breaking, look at the room he's suddenly got down this right-hand side. Are they thinking a lot more attack-minded for him in the second half? Now that's Bohr who's committed the foul. He's going to be booked for it at the very least.
Sorry, Will, to cross you there, but that's quite cynical. That's twice now. This is our man Idaho. We seen him last week. He's taken out of it. Absolutely taken out of it. Bit more of that, Idaho. We seen him do it last week against IT Carlow. And good start here by IT Sligo. I think it was Harvey O'Brien gave the ball away, but tried to give a big diagonal ball. And a good start for him coming on at the start of the second half.
Free kick. Brian Kavanagh, of course, will take it.
Will he pull it back, Will? No.
Aim towards the far post. This is a terrific header. What a save by Healy. A brilliant stop for UCD to prevent IT Sligo from going in front. A great opportunity. A brilliant header, and it came from Ryan O'Reilly.
It was a brilliant save, Will, I have to say. Again, the delivery, we know about it. I don't think he could have done much more with the header, but a brilliant save, great reaction save from 3 or 4 yards out.
So corner it'll be, and it will be Kavanagh to take again.
Got a bit of height in here, IT Sligo.
Headed away. Opportunities. They have enough men back, and only really for UCD, Colin Whelan forward from that. A defensive situation they were in. Back by Kavanagh. Well, there could be 3-0 up. They've had 3 really good quality close-in chances. And Lorcan Healy with 2 excellent saves. The other going narrowly wide. It's a gorgeous ball trying to get Kerrigan away. The close control. Chance to beat Norris. He's gone down in the area, and it is a penalty kick for UCD. 3 minutes into the second half.
Norris is not too happy. But I have to say, Ryan Conlon's right on it. Yellow card. For me, it's a penalty, Will. It's a brilliant diagonal ball. With Jack Heaney. Norris is not too happy, but I just think he got tangled up. I mean, Kerrigan's first touch took him into the box.
And it will be Yo-Yo Maddy to take for UCD. They've been under the cosh a lot in this league final. But Maddy's made it 1-0 decisively. A terrific penalty.
He's hit it well, Will, but he's put it at a good height. He struck it well, he's got good power in it. Keeper's gone the right way, but he's no chance chasing Quinn, no chance. You've got to see what IT Sligo do now, Will. Do they still sit in, stay in the game, or will they come out and chase the game? If they come out and chase the game, for me, they're going to be opened up and UCD will play through them.
1-0 UCD. And Sligo will be frustrated after all those quality opportunities that were created but not put away. Maddy, the goal scorer, and the man who scored the winner against Cove Ramblers a fortnight ago in the First Division of the League of Ireland. Their only win in the league so far this season. Another cracking ball to pick out Kerrigan. Now they've got him in the game a lot more. They finally managed to unlock Sligo. Here's Maddy. Heads are up, tails are up for UCD now. Kavanagh kept his head well to find Ben Traynor.
He's a cool player in there, isn't he, Will? He doesn't panic. That's young Brian Kavanagh. He's very cool in possession. Doesn't get too flustered on it. Always seems to be able to pick out a pass. Again, you can't see him out of shot, but Liam Kerrigan just sitting, hugging the touchline and just hoping for that big diagonal ball, which it comes again.
They've obviously had words about it at half-time. Michael Gallagher's doing the same at the right-hand side, and they were doing it throughout the first half, but not always played in. Kerrigan more than Gallagher. Now they've got Kerrigan in down the left-hand side, and they have scored pretty much directly off the back of it. Here's Maddy.
Good play.
Long.
I say Brian Kavanagh could easily fit into this UCD team. Will, the way he plays, his ability to pick a pass.
Offside against Whelan.
You know, when all the good play that UCD have had, the passing, the interchanging, the switching, it's just one big diagonal ball, get you into a 1v1 situation. Kerrigan on Norris. And you get a free kick or a penalty kick, sorry.
Harvey O'Brien with the cutout, and he's managed to launch it up towards Colin Whelan. They've nobody in the opposition half of the moment, but again, Kerrigan in loads of space down this near hand side. Kerrigan did well. Did very well. And he's won a free kick as well off it.
And they've doubled up on him, Will. His first touch was brilliant. Again, the diagonal ball. But Jack Heaney, he's got to know when to play at the distance. And perfect this time. But Kerrigan's first touch is brilliant, taking it inside. He's taking either her right back with him as well, which means then if IT Sligo get it, he's not in a really offensive position. He's not going to do too much damage to UCD.
Deep delivery, flag is up. Wouldn't have counted anyway. It's a decent launch by Keeney.
It's O'Brien at the back post, trying to get on the end of it. The problem when you play narrow like that, Will, is, and we'll refer back to the goal, is that when Jack Heaney gets on the ball, there needs to be pressure on him, because if you're narrow in and he's able to play wide out to Kerrigan, he can stretch it. So there needs to be more pressure on the ball in midfield so he can't deliver that big diagonal ball, if that makes any sense, Will.
Everything you say makes sense, always. And you've the medals to prove it. Do you get a medal for the coach this year, by the way, for the Collingwood Cup?
Of course, Will.
Good.
Yes, of
Good.
course we did. And I really, really appreciate it. And I really enjoyed winning the Collingwood Cup. It was a 99-year plan. But no, I really enjoyed it. Here we go.
It's Maddy down the right-hand side, and Whelan waiting in the middle, and a very important cutout by Ben Traynor. Farrell. That's ambitious for Corcoran. Just allowed it bounce in front of him. Idaho doing the covering job, and it's a corner. Chance for it to be sent in. The delivery wasn't bad. What followed afterwards was quick free kick. Too quick though. And maybe it's just as well for IT Sligo because Darren Collins wasn't going to reach it. That he might do the next one. Handball called against Dara Corcoran. Currently in the Leinster Senior League side, and he's played for the under-19s. He's in the first team in the League of Ireland last season, and smattering of appearances at the top level for him. Gorgeous play. They've got 3 up here. Collins with a chance to keep it in, but I don't think he did. No, it's a goal kick.
It's a poor decision by Mark Bourne. It was the wrong ball. Collins had made a great run in behind Will. Bourne could have took it on inside himself. It was just too much on the pass for Collins to get onto it. Great ball by Kavanagh from midfield with his left foot. Similar to what UCD have been doing, big diagonal ball across the pitch.
Whelan, lovely control. Kerrigan in space again down the near side, and he has been spotted, and very well spotted too. Just didn't control, and he was just offside when the ball was played by Keeney.
I watched the linesman. He's been patient there, and all he's saying to the rest of the team is, "I'm here all day. Just get it out to me, and I'll cause damage." Because I definitely think he has to measure in order down this left-hand side.
Has to be frustrating if you're making all those runs, you're in space. You can say it on the other wing as well for Michael Gallagher, and maybe 90% of the time you're not being picked out. That is a blue ball. Took a little nick of the front man. Really good vision, but Jeremiah Idaho knew it was coming, and Norris is covering as well, but it may still find Kerrigan anyway. He's got support from Maddy in the middle. He's still putting the pressure on. And that was ultimately well defended, but he's getting more and more into the game, and he's a growing threat down the left.
It's good cover by Traynor, got across the pitch, and he's just done enough to put Kerrigan off. But again, every opportunity they get, they're looking for Kerrigan down this left-hand side. They're not overcomplicating it this half, Will.
That'll be a free kick. A foul by Jack Keeney.
Look, he didn't get a yellow there, Will.
UCD have picked up 3 cautions so far today, and IT Sligo the 1.
They're still in the game, Will. 1-0. You're always in the game. You'll always get a chance.
IT Sligo have never won the league title before. They were First Division champions and went up 2 years back. Another good delivery. It's an own goal. It's an own goal. What a delivery by Kavanagh. And that caused all the trouble. Deep and penetrative, and it's the substitute, Harvey O'Brien, who's put into his own net.
Great delivery again by Kavanagh. We spoke about it. They were still in the game, Will, and they're well back in the game now. O'Brien's come on. He hasn't started the game too well early on in the half. He's misplaced a few passes. But you know what, Will? Sometimes you just need to put pressure on defenders and ask them the questions and see how good they are. And the question was asked there, and it's an OG, and it's 1-1.
It's quite a weapon, those free kicks from Kavanagh. It's right down almost the throat of the goalkeeper, and if you're a defender in that position close to goal, you have a decision to make. If you don't go for it, it can bounce in. If you do go for it, it can go anywhere, and this time it did. It's 1-1, IT Sligo on terms. And after being put under a lot of duress in this second half, you have to say they deserve it a little bit.
They just keep going, Will. They've good shape about them, as I said in the first half. They're well organised.
It will be a corner. It's been glanced out by Ben Traynor. Another man on the books of Carbery, been very successful in the Sligo Leitrim League in recent seasons.
Got to defend this, Will, now. Don't lose concentration.
You're never going to see a corner deeper than that.
Substitution here, Will.
It's going to be for UCD their second, and it's Sean McDonald, the number 18, and he is replacing Paul Doyle up front. He's featured in the UEFA Youth League as well a couple of seasons back. Does that change things sufficiently up front? Harvey O'Brien, it was unfortunate for him, but he made the move and it went in to his own net, and it's all square.
It's the delivery, Will. It's all about the delivery and getting the defender turned towards his own goal, which he doesn't want to do. As a defender, you want to be coming onto the ball, facing it, to be able to head it away. And unfortunately for him, he's headed into his own goal.
It's such a crafty delivery as well, because you're committed one way or another. You have to be committed.
But you're not in control of where it's going to go, Will, because you're running back towards your goal. It's only going to go in that direction.
It's threatening to come down rain-wise again, and you can see from the banner on the far flank just how blustery it is in the open on the Dublin side of the stadium. Dynamic break by Whelan, but he won't get there. Definitely at the back of the main stand where we can feel a couple of raindrops coming again, so it's definitely being forced across by the wind, and it's a cross-field wind. Too strong, the final ball.
Just a good idea, bro, O'Reilly. You know, Ryan O'Reilly's come right across the pitch to Agnew, but he was waiting for somebody to either come to him just to lay it up. He's trying to put it through for Idaho in between the centre half and the left full.
Kavanagh. He's had two really impressive finals in the past week. Ah, that's sliced. There's a bit of pressure on UCD now defensively from Luke Bohr.
It just gives IT Sligo that momentum now, Will. You're looking at that, you're saying, let's have a go at these. Idaho's just made a 25-yard run just to put him under pressure. If he hadn't made a run, you know, Bohr can get on it, get set again, set up into the midfield. And now IT Sligo have a big long throw in again, and UCD have got to deal with this. It was flicked on by Idaho, and there should have been a second man getting onto the end of that, Will. It was a decent little flick on by Idaho.
So here's Farrell. 1-1, approaching the midway point of the second half, and I suppose for the balance of the hour's play we'd seen before that, IT Sligo had done enough to deserve a goal. Ought to have got one by that stage at the very least, all of the different efforts they'd created, and it was one of the opposition who put it in for them. That's long, that's very long, and Jason Quinn had to come back very quickly.
I think he had it under control, Will, but
day like this you can't be too careful. Bohr it was from his half. And UCD have won it back. It was very well claimed back by Colin Whelan. Keeney.
Scott lost it in midfield, dangerous area. Gives UCD a little bit of momentum again.
Oh! Kerrigan over the top. Great chance right in front of goal. Liam Kerrigan, whose pace created their opener, almost getting a second for them.
He's made McDonald's mind up for him by coming in off the line again. And does Norris send him in? Does he let him go in? Does he go in after him? Leaves the space in behind, but he's got his first touch up to set himself up well, and he's got a shot away. And Scott Lynch there on the ground. I think he's took a little bit of a knock that time. Midfield. You see how UCD are pressed high. Well, that's, this one I'm saying about IT Sligo could do a little bit on UCD. And now it's 50-50. It's a kick out. The ball is in the air.
Good strike on the turn. The foot race is on. Dara Corcoran just getting there first ahead of Gary Higgins.
That's twice now, Will, in the last 5 minutes that IT Sligo have put the ball in behind the UCD defence, and the two UCD players, Bourne and Cardigan, just played her in blindly into touch. So they're feeling the little bit of pressure.
Penalty shootout win for Tala over NUI Galway in the men's Division 1 final here earlier today. Idaho's cross well gobbled up. Women's Premier decider Thursday at 4 back here. It's live here again. Ulster University against Maynooth University, and later on that night DCU against University Limerick in the women's Division 1 final. Men's Division 2 decider tomorrow here. National College of Ireland against Galway Technical Institute. The Division 3 final noon Thursday, Maynooth University C against Southwest College, and tomorrow afternoon in the same slot, the men's Division 4 final, UCCD against the Bray Institute of Further Education.
Just gone a little bit flat, Will, hasn't it, in the last 5 minutes? I'd like to see a little bit more from Higgins and Collins up top for IT Sligo, but maybe they're just not getting the supply. There's a little bit of energy left in their legs. They haven't done too much running in this half.
Dara Corcoran back again for Boar. UCD attempting their 8th league success in the 14 years.
Easy for Quinn, just played a straight ball through. Again, IT Sligo just happy enough to drop off and let UCD make that mistake and keep possession back to IT Sligo.
It was Jordan Adeyemo with the winning penalty for Tala in the Division 1 final earlier today here, and we'll see them back in the top flight next season. Good ball and the header on, perfect for Byrne, but he's offside, off target anyway. They haven't had too many opportunities just to probe the UCD defence on that side in the second half.
It was a free kick in midfield. It was Brian Kavanagh, just put it down, stuck it outside to the left wing. It was just knocked down from Mark Bourne, just offside. The timing of his run was vital there, Will. The space was there, let the ball be delivered, and then the man goes in. Can't be offside.
Now, as was the case on Sunday, we're going to see Dan Beyer come on for IT Sligo with just over 20 minutes to go. And going off is Gary Higgins. Dan Beyer of Minola from Longford, as is Idaho. There's some great sporting talent coming through Longford at the moment, and he's the latest of them. Nelvin Appiah, who's the Irish high jump champion. He's based in Longford as well, and he was in the Irish athletics squad for the European Games, the European Olympics in Minsk last summer. I think he got a lifetime best there as well. And he was still in secondary school at the time, and potentially still is. Decent flick on by Idaho. Chance for Collins. Lots of blue shirts in front of him. He's brought it out wide. Idaho is waiting in the middle, and Dan Bayer is there as well. Did really well to get the cross in from there. Asking a huge amount for anybody to do something at the near post, but the creativity was excellent. And it's easily claimed in the end by Lorcan Healy in the UCD goal. It's a goal kick meanwhile.
Good play by Oisin O'Reilly there. He's got the IT Sligo goal kick. Just Usher wheeling out. He's played well.
Back by Corcoran for Evan Farrell. Another UEFA Youth League veteran. Been some really good draws in that if you're the under-19 champions. You get to play through the Champions route against clubs whose parent sides aren't in the Champions League. Play has been called back by referee Ray Conlon for a free kick.
It's just when Liam Cardigan gets on the ball, UCD come to life well. They need to get the ball out to him a bit more, because every time he gets it, something happens with him. He's picked it up, he's gone inside, and again it was Kavanagh this time was taking him down, but he's trying to get in on goal. He's trying to be really, really positive.
Jack Keeney's over the free kick. Good one towards the back post it was. Couldn't quite pick out Sean McDonald, but they absolutely picked out Yo-Yo Maddy, no doubt about that. His second, UCD's second, and they're back in front.
I think it was Corcoran who's knocked it down. As it comes out, they don't clear it, IT Sligo. I think that's Corcoran, is it? It's just knocked it back in. It's a nice little touch on by McDonald. And yeah, Norris has just left Maddy. He's just drifted off him. It's a good finish. Quinn has no chance right up into the top left-hand corner. IT Sligo will be disappointed to give the goal away from the second phase, or even the third phase will of the set piece.
They hadn't dealt with it properly. UCD lead again in this league decider, a competition they've dominated since it was instigated in the mid-noughties. Women's competition under a different umbrella started in the mid-80s. Their final on Thursday. This final still well in the balance. Kavanagh did well to skip out of the way. Dan Bayer. Sligo have got the work to do all over again, and that's not the way to do it.
Just a little bit loose. Just got to regroup again. Plenty of time, Will, to get a couple of chances. Got to keep it tight, got to keep it right. And don't give that UCD that opportunity to go and get the third goal.
Well, you remember last week in the CFEI Cup final, IT Sligo had led, and then just after the hour mark fell behind 2-1, and the discipline went after that. They surely have learned a lesson from that. Now that's going to be a throw. It is in their favour. How do they actually it's a free kick, but how do they respond now? 2-1 down, just about 15 minutes to go in this league decider. A trophy that's they've never won. Dan Bayer's in support, but a lot of bodies between him and the ball. Decent one, Idaho. Collins waiting in his middle on the own.
Good delivery here.
It wasn't. Collins again, cut out. Sligo Rovers man couldn't make any progress, and he's knocked it out for the throw-in. And there was big potential in that move for Sligo, which they just didn't deliver on.
Collins trying to be too clever and trying to nutmeg. I think it was Corcoran, but play it off and get a corner or a throw in or keep good possession.
Maynooth, Crowley Cup champions for the first time since 2011, beat UCC in a penalty shootout win at the weekend in Maynooth. The UCC keeper Vyacheslav Vondra was the player of the tournament. A 5-4 penalty shootout victory.
It's a little bit high by Gallagher. A little bit high.
And that'll be him in the book. And it's the second yellow card picked up by Sligo in this league decider. Gallagher up and okay again. Idaho might latch onto this, and he did block the clearance too for Healy. The back pass was short, and he never gave up wisely.
He was onto it like a light, Will. He's got that pace. She opens them legs up. Larkin Healy. Little bit of a fright, I might say. "15 minutes or so to go, Will. With, you know, the YT Sligo just keep it going the way they are, or did we have a go?"
So free kick in a good position. And they've sent practically everybody up. 7 for Sligo on the edge of the area, trying to get the flick on, and it fell invitingly to Idaho. The shot blocked immediately. It's well teed up by Dan Bay on the edge of the box. They've still got plenty of bodies up. It's away by Harvey O'Brien. Whelan, and they can breathe again. And they lots of room down the near hand side to where we are, but played it down the far wing, trying to get Maddie away.
Build causing havoc for UCD. There's a chance or two left in this IT Sligo squad, a team yet, Will.
UCD beaten by DCU in the Collingwood Cup. That'll be a free kick. Getting to earn a few more of them, and it may be another yellow card. Yes.
It's O'Brien again. Is it O'Brien?
It is. Harvey O'Brien has been booked. Gallagher went in the book a few moments ago. Free kick
Offside,
deep, flag up, offside, too deep.
Good idea. Just a straight ball. I'd like to see it again. I'd like to see it. He came a bit late with his run. The ball was just hanging up there. It just took a little bit of time to get to him. Maybe just put the linesman off. Yeah, I think the linesman just got it right, in fairness. There wasn't much in it, Will.
Well, there was potential of a big double for IT Sligo coming into last week's CFAI Cup final, beaten in that. They hadn't won it since 2009. They've never won the league before. Sean McDonald.
There's a good run in behind by McDonald, I have to say. And then he's given away a silly free kick.
They've been doing that quite a bit though. IT Sligo have been winning a lot of set pieces all over the...
He's come inside off the line. And he's the one that's been creating a lot of chances and opportunities for UCD.
It's Ronan Gallagher who's coming on, and Scott Lynch is going off.
He started the game last week, Will, against IT Carlow. So he's a little bit of experience. It's good for the manager, Colin Jinks. He knows he can trust the guy to bring him on. He knows that he can trust him to put him straight into the team.
Idaho on the chase after it. That clearance managing to hit the only person who was sitting in that row of the stand. 9 minutes left, UCD leading. Definitely IT Sligo having the 4 suspensions overturned on the eve of this league decider has helped it as a contest. UCD would have been the overwhelming favourites no matter what squad IT Sligo put out today.
Great ball.
Great control. Glorious opportunity for Byrne, and he just couldn't get the finish.
What a fantastic
Mark
ball.
Byrne.
Brilliant ball by Norris. He's done everything right, Will. He's just miskicked the ball. He's took it on his chest brilliantly, set himself up with a chest pass down for himself, and he's just miskicked it.
It was a huge opening for Sligo. Inside the final 8 minutes, will they get another opening like that before the end? They trail 2-1 in this league decider.
If UCD keep dropping off, Will, and conceding free kicks, I think there's going to be another opportunity for IT Sligo. And the Kavanagh's deliveries, this game ain't over yet.
Idaho fouled from behind by Dara Corcoran.
Here we go, here's the free kick. They've got good height. They've got Gallagher out there coming on. They've Ryan O'Reilly. They've Oisin O'Reilly, the trainer. They've got a bit of height in there. And we know what happened the last time Kavanagh's put one of these free kicks in.
Bit of cramp as well being dealt with for Jeremiah Idaho.
Puts the yards in, he puts the miles in, Will.
He's a man full of creativity. And he's conjured up a free kick situation here, and of course it's going to be Brian Kavanagh to send it in. The man from Mullingar, so successful at local level in the Sligo Leitrim District League with Carbery FC.
Just stay on side, I think. Sligo, just don't be offside, stay on side.
It's a brilliant curl in by Kavanagh, ready to be attacked again. Mark Byrne with a chance to send it back in again.
When you think of it, Will, the chances that IT Sligo have had the first half and that last one by Bourne, they've probably had the best opportunities to get goals in the game.
Didn't do much from that throw though. Every time there's a 50-50 ball, it always feels as if a red shirt is to it first. It's a UCD throw.
It's Ryan O'Reilly. I think the bounce just deceived him. It was Gallagher just mistimed the header. Lucky enough for Gallagher, because if O'Reilly they got it, he was on. Just leaned through down the left hand side.
Quick word, the highlights of the CFAI Cup final are on eirSport twice on Saturday. First showing is at 11:30 a.m. Second is on around 8 p.m. and there's 2 broadcasts as well on Sunday. One's at 5:30, one's at 6 o'clock, but they're on different channels, so you can watch it twice. Here's Dan Bayer. Won it. Can they build from the back again?
They probably feel they need to get it up there quickly.
Side, but can they smuggle it through to Dan Bayer? Yes, they can. And he's been fouled by Corcoran.
Corcoran's a lucky man there, Will. He's just been booked, hasn't he? Or has he?
Kavanagh, very long. Quite accurate too. Trying to pick out Mark Byrne, and he has done indirectly. And out by Luke Bohr as they were trying to get it down the wing for Colin Whelan. 4 minutes and counting. This went beyond Idaho again, who's created so much. And there might have been a break for Colin Whelan, but the free kick's gone against him for the foul on the Sligo captain, Ryan Norris.
Again, Kavanagh's just going to drop this into the box, I think. They'll be all up. It's the second ball, Will, that's the important one here. It's the second ball, the second phase.
Free kick that wasn't as deep in this occasion. Dan Bayer with the tee up. Chance for the cross coming from Collins. Just over the head of Idaho, who's arriving at the far post.
He's just got underneath the wheel, hasn't he? It's a brilliant ball in by Collins. We spoke about the second phase. The next ball coming out of the box. It's a brilliant delivery by Collins. Idaho just got caught underneath it.
Dan Bayer for Norris again. And Norris went the direct route. Just a little bit too strong, too deep. Beyond Idaho. Corner for UCD. 89th minute.
They'll take their time here, Will. They might go short. They'll waste a few more seconds. Maddie's prepared to put it in.
Wasn't a great corner. Oisin O'Reilly with the header away. Sligo with the opportunity to break clear. Been a very tight final. UCD edged out UCC at home farm 2 years ago. And it's very much an edging out job at the moment, unless IT Sligo, as we enter the last minute of the 90, can make something dramatic happen right at the end. And that wasn't it. Struck hard by Lorcan Healy in a way.
Ball boy's been busy over there, Will.
Norris, bit of room, bit of time. Here he is. And it's a deep one into the area, and it's well claimed by Lorcan Healy. And he'll take his time. Quick call for man of the match for you. 4 added minutes we'll have. 4 added minutes in the league final. Man of the match, Johnny.
I think Maddie has got the 2 goals, but he hasn't done enough for me in the game. Obviously, he's got the goals. Brian Kavanagh's been really, really good in midfield for IT Sligo. But for me, every time he's got the ball, he's made something happen for UCD. And Liam Kerrigan, for me, has been man of the match.
So Liam Kerrigan, the RUSTLERS man of the match. for this CUFL Men's League final. Tala claiming the Division 1 crown. They'll definitely try and shake up the top flight next season. They'll be happy to be back. That final went all the way to penalties. This one, not yet.
Oh,
Idaho had it, no advantage played. The foul on Ryan O'Reilly. A little bit outside the area, but central, and there's only one man who's going to take this.
It might be just a little bit straight, Will. It's a fair distance out from the striker on goal, but we know his ability. We have the power to stick it past Lorcan Healy from there. He's going to make sure that wall is 10 yards, Will. I'll be making sure it is. Doesn't look like it to me, or is he just going to pop it in? It's a big wall, Will. It's a big free kick.
It's Brian Kavanagh, little chip, and the header did come to at the far post, but not enough power, not enough accuracy.
Sometimes they're hard to head, Will, you know, because there's not a lot of pace on the ball. You know, he's got there all right. You just need a little bit more pace on it.
It's Ronan Gallagher's header.
I think Lorcan Healy's been booked for time wasting, Will. Goalkeeper off UCD, I think he's got a yellow.
6 cautions against UCD in this final. Midway through the 4 minutes of stoppage time. They're pushing again, Sligo. Here's Collins. Support down the near side from Dan Bayer, but they won't release him. They can't release him. Collins couldn't hold on to it. Colin Whelan did well. 3 coming forward for UCD now. Great work by Sean McDonald.
Trainer's going to be booked for full back. Great play by Sean McDonald, I have to say. Good composure showed on it. Driving forward, kept good control of the ball. He's won a nice free kick here for UCD to just run this game out.
Knock it around the opposition half, just where they want it to be. Whelan turning well, but 4 bodies around, and one of them had to win it back, and it was Dan Bayer who done it. The last minute of stoppage time, 30 seconds remaining. It has to be now for Sligo, and guess what? They've won a free kick, and it's going to be Kavanagh's. Here we go. UCD holding on right at the end, and they're sending everybody out, and they're sending the goalkeeper up. Jason Quinn, the goalkeeper's on the edge of the area waiting for this free kick. Launched in by Brian Kavanagh, and they messed it up. It was going out for a corner, and they both went for it. I think Trainer and Idaho, and they got in each other's way, and it's a goal kick. They would have had a corner.
Yeah, absolutely, Will. It's knocked on to the UCD defender. Trainer's just trying to put it back in, and Idaho's just got in his way. Here we go.
And suddenly from the goal kick, they're all onside. Kerrigan is there. Maddie waiting in the middle. Jason Quinn had to race back to his goal very quickly. UCD have done it again. Their 5th league title in 7 years. They've won it more than anyone else, and that's now a great 8 for University College Dublin. They've beaten IT Sligo by 2-1. A very game Sligo side.
Very unlucky Sligo in both matches I've seen in both finals, Will. They just, last week, as we know, the couple of players sent off, but they were well in this game today. Great opportunities to go ahead in the match early on to take the lead. They didn't take the opportunities, and sometimes that comes back to bite you, as it did here today. You know, UCD got their penalty, and Maddie then just getting free from the set piece, from the corner kick. So they didn't have to work too hard to get their goals. But there's a bit in this Sligo squad to build them for the future. So Colin Jinks, he's got to take the positives from it and try and get them back on track for next season. But unlucky again today. UCD just probably had a little bit too much for them, a little bit too much guile, a bit more experience, I would say, all over the pitch.
It's a good IT Sligo side. They obviously had the big collapse last week, finishing the game with 7 men. But they've reached 2 big deciders in the space of a week and massively tested UCD today, and obviously could have got 3 goals in the first half without exaggeration.
Well, Collins and Higgins were very, very good in the first half. I think UCD, were making the changes. Barbacore coming off a half time, whether he was injured, but it was just a tactical change. I think it was a good change to make. Maybe, they brought on O'Brien, who obviously gave away the OG, but they felt with Barbican being on the yellow card, he might have lost the player. Barbican being on the yellow card, but look, as I said, Kerrigan doing really well. Farrell in midfield, and Doyle. They probably just had a little bit too much for them in the end.
And the overall quality of UCD sees them top of the tree once more. Presentation is on the way, so if you can give us one really long answer, Johnny, and we'll go down and get a few interviews. UCD, their star men really pulled it out. It's been a big calendar for them.
I wouldn't say, I gave Kerrigan man of the match. I wouldn't say any of them had a 9 out of a 10 will today. And, they would have played, they all played very, very well for the team, but no one's outstanding for them. That's compliment to IT Sligo. And, the way they played, they dropped off in the first half. Let UCD on the ball in front of them and denied them opportunities getting in on goal. And but for me, UCD, as I said, probably just had a little bit too much for them to give away the goal early on, and the penalty on the second half, disappointing for them. They'd be happy enough, but they're down there. They've another trophy. They're serial trophy winners at UCD. And they've another one on the way here today.
Well, celebration time. Presentation's about to happen. Let's very quickly, though, get the man who's got both goals today. Yusuf Mahdi. A very decisive penalty and a fine effort from open play too.
Yeah, I'm happy with the 2 goals. Happier though to win the tournament because it was a long season after the disappointment in the Collingwood, and I'm just happy that we get a trophy at the end of the year.
I mean, absolutely, because this was it. This was the last opportunity to get one at the highest level.
Yeah, exactly. We know what today means, and we know what this tournament means, and we did everything we could to win. And boys are putting their bodies on the line at the end and all. And yeah, I'm just really happy.
Okay, congratulations, well done. You've got a trophy to pick up, and
man of the Colleges and Universities Football League, Dennis Clark, who is committee member here today. Just before we make the presentations, a few thank yous, won't keep you too long. Just it's important to note that our sponsors, RUSTLERS, have been very good to us in respect of supporting third level football, but also Athlone Town for the use of their facilities here today, and in particular 2 men, Eamon Cunningham and John West, who have helped support us and help us put on these finals. I think you should show your appreciation in the usual way. Okay, but also throughout the academic year, play football right through from October, November, December, January, February, and right now to the final. We've obviously had lots of support from referees, and we want to thank them for their participation in all our competitions, and in particular for today. So again, if they'd like to come forward, you show your appreciation as well. Thank you. And just finally, one last thing before we actually do the medal presentations and the cup. We do have a player of the match. There were a number of people assessing that, not myself, so I have to say, but they tell me that the player of the match was UCD's Liam Kerrigan. Okay, and so we come to the presentation then of the medals. And can I just say that it was a very, very tight game. Obviously, it could have gone either way. Quality of football was excellent, worthy of the Premier Division in the Colleges and Universities League. I've seen both teams during the league campaign, and they both deserve to be here in the final. They certainly put on a performance for us today. Sligo, well done. Commiserations, well done, UCD. I'll say a bit more in a moment. But Sligo, you should be proud of yourselves, proud of your college, and proud of yourselves for being here today. Can you all give them a round of applause while they get their medals? Okay, lads, just go forward and take your medals. Well done, lads. One last round of applause, please, for Sligo IT. And so we come to the presentation of the winners. UCD, as we all know, are an excellent football club playing the first division. I, again, as I say, have seen them in the league campaign this year, and they've been excellent. So, again, they put up a tremendous performance today. And really had to knuckle down in the second half of it against Sligo, but they pressed them all the way. But nonetheless, they showed their resilience, and today they came out worthy winners. And again, could I ask the captain come up last, and could you show your appreciation for your winners of the Premier Division to 2020 CUFL UCD? Thank you.
Well, when we've seen them win this league title the past few seasons, they've really had to fight for it, and same story again today. And even right at the end, Sligo were consistently testing them. It was an own goal from another wonderfully penetrative free kick from Brian Kavanagh. Very effective both in the CFEI Cup final last week for a lot of it, and the league final today. But it's UCD who come out on top. An excellent brace by Yusuf Maddy. Scored the winning goal against Cove Ramblers in the League of Ireland 10 days ago. Coaching team deserve their medals as well and receive them now. UCD about to receive the silverware. The entire coaching team has to be rewarded. UCD, league champions for the 8th time in 14 years. They're always winning cups. And only IT Carlo have been anywhere near in dethroning them in recent years. The official team photos coming up. And they've got everybody in on it. A really, really good success. Let's grab the man of the match. Here he is, Liam Kerrigan, the man on the wing. Good success to wrap up the season.
Not a bad finish to the season, in fairness. Boys were class. IT put up to us, in fairness. They gave us a proper game, so fair play to them.
It's for them in a week.
Yeah, not bad for them, to be fair. They're putting in good work. I know Jinxie, he's running it very well down there, and it's clearly paying off. And next year, I'm sure they'll be back again.
Lots of space for you down the wing, and not just for you, but Michael Gallagher as well on the other side.
Probably it was tight in the middle, so we had to use the wings a bit more because they clearly compacted the bit and go at them quick. So.
Nice one, listen, well done.
Thank you, see ya.
They're not really hanging around much. Let's try and get the skipper, Jack Keaney, very quickly before he goes down the tunnel. Jack, if you can stay with us for a couple of minutes, having received the league trophy, and a good way to wrap up the season.
Yeah, I suppose we were disappointed with the Collingwood, and we wanted just to put it right there tonight, and I think we did it.
Because of the loss in the Collingwood Cup to DCU, good to get some silverware and prove yourselves for the season.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose me and Liam and a few of the boys were part of the Harding Cup, and that was something we wanted to win. And especially today, we knew Sligo IT lost last week, and they were going to be all guns blazing, and I think they did that. But I think we matched it, and we're the winners.
And in terms of the League of Ireland, obviously the season's just beginning, so it's a long run for everyone.
Yeah, but I suppose we love playing the games. That's why we're here. We had a difficult result last week, but hopefully we'll push on now on Friday.
A lot of resolve needed to basically turn Sligo over today. Very resilient they were.
Yeah, we knew they've quality players. We played against them many of the times, but we just knew we had to battle it. And then once the chances came, we had to be clinical, and Yo-Yo did that.
Nice one, well done.
Thanks, Wayne.
So that's that then. It is really cold, so we're not going to hang around today. Johnny, great tribute to UCD, but also actually to Sligo after the massive disappointment last week in being well beaten, where just about it all went wrong in the second half in the CFEI Cup final.
Yeah, and look, they come back and they put in a performance again today. It's been difficult for them 2 weeks in a row to be beaten in finals, but the great positivity around, with Jinxie there, going forward for that team, they've got to take the positives out of this. There's some really good players among that group, and I know it's hard for them now at this present time, but as I said, you've got to be positive about it. That's a good UCD team. Most of the first division players are playing there, and they put in a performance. Great opportunities in the first half to take the lead, and I've said that early on, and they were disappointed probably not to take the lead, but UCD are clever, they're experienced, and they've just done enough to win the game today for me, Will.
8th league crown in 14 seasons. The 14 seasons that this league has been in operation.
Well, they have the players, and they're the flagship for the Universities League. Everyone's got to get up to their level. That's the standard that people have to get up to, and that's good. And there's some really good players playing in this league, Will, all around the country. So it's a very, very good standard, I have to say.
Well, hard lines on Sligo, 2 big deciders in the space of a week, beaten in both. But for UCD, they pass with flying colours again. Goodbye. And the thing is, last week they were playing